Yes, case 2379 is Mr. Clifford Selby. Case number 23103, no one has showed up as the property owner. 24-10 is Miss Judy Tomlinson Koo. 2412, Miss Martha Morper and Miss Killian. And 24-13 is Confessor Malavey. Yes, Miss Killian, she's helping representing Miss Morper.
K-I-L-L-I-A-N.
I'm sorry.
Jane, J-A-N-E.
Malavey, Confessor Malavey. M-A-L-A-V-E. Yes, Confessor is his first name. C-O-N-F-E-S-S-O-R. I'm sorry, one S.
F-E-S.
E-S-O-R.
Yeah, like professor, confessor, but one S.
I swear
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay, yes, on January 30th, we had a special magistrate hearing on this case. Continuance was issued due to the property listed in probate. I learned that there was a will, and I met with Mr. Clifford Selby, who was the heir to the will or to the property, on February 6th. During our conversation, He gave me a copy of the will, which you should have a copy, Ms. Marshman. That's when we spoke about the property, which has been burnt. I'm trying to think what the date was. It was several months ago that this property was burnt, and it's in danger to collapse. Mr. Selby agreed with me that the property does need to be demoed. He is willing, we've got a quote on the property. I believe it's around $6,000 from Cross Environmental Services. It was $6,100 total. He has agreed to have the property demoed. And he is willing to let this company demo it and then him reimburse the city of the demo cost. He was sent a notice of hearing, which I gave him a copy that day that I met with him on February 6th. I did post the property on February 6th. I posted the property in the City of Lake City website for a total of 4 weeks. I also, on March 5th, I posted the public notice signage on the property advising of the notice of hearing and affidavit of notice by posting. I did take photos and it was placed with the case file. I believe Mr. Selby would have to speak to that.
Yes, ma'am. I believe the will states, how about now? Yes, ma'am, thank you. I believe the will states, 2 names, if I remember right. It's my name, Clifford, and then, there was a neighbor, Stephen Lopez, that was on it as well. He has since passed a few years back down in Miami. As far as any other names, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any other names on there. My father and his family were living in the home when it burned down, but he didn't want any part of it. So that's where they are at. No, ma'am, I do not. I don't believe I have a deed or anything left to the home. I believe the original deed for my grandma was in the home, but it has since burned. And my father still lives. He was living in the home until it burned down. It was my grandmother, is Lois. That was the name on the deed. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I was looking into it until I got called for all this, and then I had a lot on my plate, and I was like, well, if they can do it, I'd let them, but I should be able to do it myself if that's what's needed. Yes. Okay.
I have no issues, Ms. Marshman. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
2018.
Yes, ma'am, we're using 2018. The city council hasn't approved the International Property Maintenance Code for 2021 as of yet. Yes, ma'am. You can go from first. Okay, yes, ma'am. On February 5th of 2024, I received a complaint by email from Sally Ford. She is the supervisor for the Columbia County Health Department. Received a letter from an individual complaining of debris on the property located at 464 Southwest Teresa Court. You should have a copy of that letter, Ms. Marchman. On that same date, I inspected the property and photos were taken. There was junk and trash scattered all over the backyard. It said in the letter that rodents could be seen at night at this property. When I checked that, it was during the day, so I did not see any rodents at all. On the February 6th, I prepared a notice of violation and notice of hearing and mailed it certified to Miss Two. This property has had several repeated violations. There's been a total of five prior cases before this case. The certified green card was returned to me as delivered and was signed for on the 21st of February by a J. Starling. On the 16th of February, I placed the notice of hearing on the City of Lake City website, which was posted for 4 weeks. On the 5th of March, I posted the public notice signage of the property advising of the notice of hearing and affidavit of notice by posting. Those photos were taken and placed in the case file, which you should have copies, Ms. Marshman. Yes. Yes, ma'am, it is. Basically, we're wanting the property cleaned up, and for it to stay cleaned up. I don't have a problem with an extension if you give them one, but whatever the extension is, if it's 30 days, on the 31st day, I request a lien be placed on the property, charge them $50 a day. Yes, that's correct. Ms. Two has started cleaning up the property, but there still is some left, as you can see on the photos.
Hello. Hey, okay. No, I've done a lot, but we walked around it today and there's still, the side there's got to, I still have work. I need to ask for the
Extension.
Extension's what it's called.
How much time do you need to have the property cleaned up?
I don't know how long to ask for it.
That's up to you, Ms. T.
Is 30 days a lot? Too much? 30 days with the doctor, with the things that are going on, yeah, 30 days would be a nice, where it is absolutely, teetotaled, cleaned. Just my apologies, that's,
Ms. Marshman, I have a gentleman who wants to speak. He brought Ms. Tu in. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
my son.
Jacob Starling.
Grandson.
Yeah, grandson. Yes, ma'am. I was just wanting to get clarification. I know they said a lien starting the first day and it's $50 per day. Is that for the continuance or the extension? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No, ma'am.
All right. Teresa spelled Teresa? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we stay or?
Again, Mr. Silva, I'll give you the chance to speak to this case, and then Ms. Morper and Ms. Killian, if you'd like to speak, you'll be able to speak as well after Mr. Silva. Go ahead, Mr. Silva.
Okay, on February 8th of this year, I received a phone call from Mr. James Myers, who is in attendance, complaining of debris on the property located at 511 Northwest Palm Drive. I inspected the property and observed debris all over the property. Photos were taken and attached to the case file. A notice of violation and a notice of hearing was prepared and mailed certified to the owner on February 9th. There has been 3 prior cases before this case, so it shows as a repeat offender of the property. On the 15th of February, the certified green card was returned to me as delivered to James Myers and Marshall Morper. Marshall Morper is the son of Miss Morper, who resides at the residence. Miss Morper doesn't reside there. On the 16th of February, I placed a notice of hearing in the City of Lake City website. It was posted for 4 weeks. On the 26th of February, the certified green card was returned to me as delivered on the 22nd of February, and that was signed for by Miss Martha Morper. On the 5th of March, I posted a public notice signage on the property advising of the notice of hearing and affidavit of notice by posting. Photos were taken and placed in the case file, which you should have, Ms. Marchman.
Okay. It appeared from the photos, when I compared the photos from February 8th in the file to the photos that were taken today, it appeared that the property was cleaned up a bit. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. The only problem that we're having is her son keeps on dragging debris out onto the property. So it's a ongoing situation that hasn't stopped.
What debris have I dragged out?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Morper is here.
Okay.
An example of what debris?
So I'm looking at the photos from today and I see a couple of garbage bins by the road, maybe a washer and dryer in the driveway, or maybe just a dryer. Mr. Silva, what do you continue to be concerned about on the property based on what you saw today?
Well, the debris that's laid on the, right at the edge of the roadway that hasn't been picked up, it should be either in trash bags or Waste Pro for them to pick up. The washer and dryer on the driveway. This is just the ongoing situation that I'm going through on this property.
Okay. Great. Anything else, Mr. Silva? Oh, what is the relief you're requesting?
Basically, keep the property cleaned up. I would like for you to order 30 days to get this cleaned up. And if it's not cleaned up within the 31st day, $50 a day lien be posted on the property.
All right, well, let me first hear from Miss Martha Morper. If you'd like to speak, Miss Morper, I'd be happy to hear your response to Mr. Silva's comments.
Well, it's all been spoken about what was wrong. And I did pay $1,000 to have all that mess taken away. in January, what,
In January.
in January.
And what about Mr. Silva, do you have the photos from today that you can share with Ms. Morper? Or I can actually share my screen and pull them up, but I just don't know if she'll be able to see them.
I've got it, Ms. Marshall.
Well, we had some,
Well, we have some from that day, but
Oh.
not from today.
oh,
Ms. Morper, when is the last time you've been at the property?
oh,
It's probably about a month ago.
a month ago probably.
These are the photos that I took today.
Uh-huh.
See where the trash is laying out on the side of the roadway.
Mm-hmm,
That's the same photos. There's two of those.
mm-hmm, yeah, I see
And
that,
see right here,
yeah.
this property, and then I guess that's a washer or a dryer. That's in the driveway itself.
Mhm.
I'm just requesting that this stay cleaned up.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Morper, are you able to address the continued issues at the property? So it does look like the property's been cleaned up substantially. There's still, looks like there's a few more issues. Are you able to clean up the property further and to bring it into full compliance, say within 30 days as requested by the city?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Myers, is there anything that you wanted to speak to with respect to the property?
No, it's cleaned up, I have no problem.
And Mr. Morper, is there something that you would like to speak to in terms of the property?
Mr. Morper,
There is.
would you like to speak?
Good. We have,
We need to swear you in. She needs to be sworn in, Ms. Marshman.
Mr. Morper,
no, Mr.
would you come up to the dais, please? So I'm able, and speak into the microphone, so I'm able to hear you.
You want us up there?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Morper, can you come up?
No.
I'm confused.
Thank you. Mr. Morper, what is your first name?
Marshall.
I'm gonna ask you, I'm just gonna swear you in before you testify with respect to this case. If you just raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Morper.
Okay. Yeah, I probably have the most recent photos. I mean, I just took photos before I came here. So obviously I worked on what was in the driveway, namely the two washing machines, which I hope to have gone by tomorrow. One of them I've already taken apart. So one thing is I scrapped them for money.
That's why you see a continual thing that comes in and goes out. That's what he has been doing for his income, to pay his, pay bills, pay his part of the bills. I do hair, and then I work also.
Actually, one of those machines I dragged from,
Inside our house.
no, Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers, one of the machines came from his house next door.
Nothing came from my house.
Ma'am, what is your name? I don't think I have you.
Sorry.
Michelle,
down on the. I'm sorry, I think I was talking over you. What is your name?
Michelle Mason.
Okay. And what is your relationship to the property? Are you living on the property?
I am.
She's my girlfriend.
Mr. Morper, so I assume you live at the property. I think
Yes.
somebody mentioned that. Okay. Any concerns with cleaning up the property within 30 days?
No.
Okay. All right, I appreciate you being present. Is there anybody else that would like to speak with respect to this property?
I just wanna add one more thing. We had, in 2021, the spring head that feeds that lake emerged in the backyard, and there was twice that Mr. Sova came over, and we walked up there to look at it, and I even asked him what he would do about it, and no one ever had any ideas. But the water comes down the side of our property, and that is constantly having to be cleaned out, because if it backs up, then it floods the house. So that down at the bottom, down where you see the debris, I guess is what you're talking about, is where the water comes down and turns and goes underneath the culvert that feeds that lake next to us. So it's a constant job trying to keep that up. So there's always gonna be something out there. I mean, we have to clean the stuff out of the flow of the water to keep it from getting stuck inside that culvert as well. And we have had to remodel the backside of the house because of the hurricane. And there's lumber, which obviously we can't take inside, so that's what he is seeing out there stacked up was that from the guys that have been working on that place.
And there's like a
And it's
bathtub
still-
and
Yeah,
there's
I
a
mean, it's
shower
still not
stall, you know,
finished.
stuff that's gonna go inside the house.
So, I mean, until this is all done, you're gonna constantly see a changing of stuff that's there.
And
And
tile,
that fence,
carpet.
that privacy fence, that's his fence. That's not ours, that hideous, I mean, it looks horrible. But that's his fence, not ours. So, and on the other side, where you were talking about the accumulation of unattended growth of weeds, that wasn't even our property. That's the next door neighbor's property, where a tree fell on it September the 5th and should be condemned and torn down. It's dangerous. I mean, every time the wind blows, it creaks. And it has drawn in a whole lot of attention around there. And, I mean, it's just it's not all our stuff. I do bag up our stuff that we rake up. We do have garbage cans out there that go out every week. But there's several ongoing issues that has caused it to have stuff in the yard. And behind our house, we can't take it back there because there's a retention wall. And the hill it's really steep.
And we can't burn because even though we have a burn barrel.
You can't burn it, so it has to sit there until the garbage picks up, or it gets hauled off.
But I can do better to coordinate like the organic debris and get it out on Wednesday when they pick it up. And I talked to the guys that pick up the sanitation guys. I talked to them, I think, last week, and they told me how to do it.
And I guess it's back there, the receipts from where he's scrapped and the income that we claim on taxes, I mean, it's a substantial amount that it comes, usually once or twice a week, he'll have a money pulled together together, so it's him and two other guys, so it doesn't just sit there is my point. That stuff that he took pictures of today won't be there probably tomorrow. But there may be other stuff that comes in because it has to be sorted and cleaned.
Ms. Mason, did you see the photos that are in the file from February 8th, 2024 of the subject property? Mr. Sova, do you have those photos? Do you mind sharing those with Ms. Mason?
Yes, ma'am, I'm looking for them right now. All right, this was today. Let me get to February 8th. All right, so here, this debris here,
That's something else, but I did bag it up.
okay. All this debris,
That was cut from back to back,
and that's the same picture there.
and the garbage people picked it up. So we have cut it in 3 foot sections,
Shopping carts,
yes.
yes, and then that's that photo there. And then you had the shopping cart where you had all this here. Okay.
You see what
And
that
then,
is?
and then I
There's
can show you prior cases that I've had in the photos as well.
So, Ms. Mason, I just wanted you to take a look at those photos because it's evident to me that the debris on that property from February 8th isn't caused by water. It appears, that there's, I don't know how the debris is getting on the property. I haven't seen water do
That
that.
was a table, that was a table that was in the carport, and it got water damage
The carport.
and collapsed.
The water comes, if it,
There's a lot of debris throughout the yard and in the driveway and the carport, and the property, under the city code, it has to be free of debris in the yard. And the property owner is responsible for maintaining it, free of debris. So I'm going to, grant the relief that, was requested by the city, which is, to clean up the property within 30 days. If the property is not cleaned up, within 30 days, then on the 31st day, a lien of, a fine of $50 a day will begin to accrue, which would, serve as a lien on the property. You will, Ms. Morper, since you're the property owner, I'll send you the order, and you'll be responsible for cleaning up the property. And Ms. Morper or Ms. Killian, either of you, if I could have Ms. Morper's mailing address so that I can ensure that she receives the the order directly. I'm not able to hear you. Ms. Morper, do you mind coming up to the microphone? Again, sorry about that.
Wait a minute.
Her mailing address is 970 Pine Mount Road, Pinemount, in Lake City, and the zip is 32024.
Pine Mount, is it K?
Pine Mount, Pinemount.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And it's southwest, Ms. Marshman.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else with respect to case number 2412?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Morper, do you have anything else?
No, nothing to add.
You can sit down, Mr.
Oh, okay.
So the next case we'll call is case number 2413. And again, I'll allow Mr. Silva, if you could address this property, and then I'll give Mr. Malabave a chance to speak to the property as well.
Okay, on February 12th this year, I received a phone call from Timmy Jernigan, who was not present, in reference to the property located at 515 Northwest Gibson Lane. Mr. Jernigan stated to me that the property was a junkyard. I inspected the property and observed numerous rotted lawnmower chassis and debris all over the yard. Photos were taken, which you should have, Ms. Marshman. I prepared a notice of violation and a notice of hearing and sent it certified to the owner on the 12th of February. And there has been 4 prior cases at this location. On the 16th of February, I placed a notice of hearing on the City of Lake City website, which was posted for 4 weeks. On the 21st of February, the certified green card was returned to me as delivered and signed for. This was the NOV and the NOH that was delivered to the repeat offender. On the 5th of March, I posted a public notice signage on the property advising of a notice of hearing and affidavit notice by posting. Photos were taken and placed in the case file. I did inspect the property today, and Mr. Malavey has cleaned up a lot of the property. And I have no problem with an extension if Mr. Malavey needs it.
What is the relief that the city's seeking?
I'm requesting 30 days. 31st day, start a $50 a day fine quarterly.
Anything else, Mr. Silva?
No, ma'am, that's it.
Mr. Malve, would you like to come up to the podium and respond to Mr. Silva?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, ma'am? In regards, I know I fell short on it. I know cleanliness is godliness, and my wife been sick, and I've been off and on dealing with some jobs, and I accumulated some equipment because I do some lawn servicing too. And what happened, I got more than I could chew, and the ones that are supposed to have been helping me to move some things, they fell short. So between dealing with my wife issues and trying to do odds and ends, I had a little problem dealing with my vehicle, and I finally got that squared away, and my insurance and tag, and next thing I know, I seen the notice. I said, oh Lord. But God had brought it to my spirit. I already knew. I've been on that street 20-some years, almost 30 years, and been with my wife, married 31. And I knew a lot of that I needed to move. So I nearly got everything moved off the yard. I just got a little bit of stuff on one side just to pick up. And some of the stuff out by the roadway that I thought they would get, they stopped picking it up. So I'm gonna have to get my trailer and pick up that debris. And I got a little bit on the other side. But other than that, I don't have no problem with cleaning up the rest of the yard because I do that too for other people. So I'm always fixing everybody else's stuff and letting mine fall short. But I apologize, and I'm sorry that it got out of hand. And I ask God to forgive me, but I can clean it up, the rest of it. And I do have 3 or 4 pieces of equipment. One went out on me. I'm still paying for it. And he seen the guy that helped me repair one of my machines. And then I inherited a machine. So I just got to organize a few of them over to the side and get the rest of the debris off the left side. I'll just back my trailer up and pick up all that, cut a few limbs, but I can clean it up with no problem. I can clean it up. I just fell short.
Mr. Malave, if you're given 30 days to clean up the property, is that a sufficient amount of time?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'll probably get it done sooner than that, but that'd be sufficient for me. And I thank God for the man that you said, because he was real nice about the situation, talking with me. And I know he's just doing his job, and you're doing your job, but I have no problem in doing what I got to do to respect the ordinance. You understand what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. And if you see something before that and you say, well, you might need to address this, address that, I'll be happy to address it, because I do this kind of work for other people. Cleanups and cut down trees. And I just fell a little bit short dealing with my wife because she can't walk. She has a diabetic and congestive heart failure and a few other things, blood pressure, and trying to maintain that and maintain this. I just fell short. But I can get it straightened out with no problem.
I just have a clarifying question. I see that the property owner is Katie Mae.
That's my wife.
Malve? Okay, I just wanted to.
We both were on the house, but that's my wife, Pastor Katie.
All right, I will grant the relief requested by the city, that the property be cleaned up and brought into compliance with the code within 30 days. On the 31st day, Mr. Malve, if the property is not cleaned up, a fine will begin to accrue of $50 a day, and that fine will serve as a lien on the property. However, if you do clean up the property within 30 days, there will be no fine.
Oh,
Okay?
yes, ma'am, I have it done.
Okay, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate you being here today.
And thank y'all. That it?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
What's your
sir.
name again?
Marshall.
Marshall.
Yes, sir.
I'll be praying for you.
Thank you, sir.
I understand.
All right, and then I think we have our last case, which is case number 23-103. Mr. Silva, is there anybody present at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll just address this case just like the others and let me know the relief the city's requesting.
Yes, ma'am. My initial inspection was on December 27th of 2023. I noticed the property located at Broadway and ML King, which is parcel number 10779-000, that is owned by Michaela Akira Combs. I took photos of the property where it was overgrown. Notice of violation was prepared, and I mailed it certified to the owner on the 27th of December of 2023 with a compliance date of January 11th of 2024. Certified green card was delivered with a notice of violation and returned to me on January 3rd of 2024. On February 12th, I re-inspected the property and there was no change. I prepared a second notice of violation and a notice of hearing to appear in front of you, Ms. Marchman, on the 19th of 2024 of March. Mailed it certified to the owner. On February 16th, I placed a notice of hearing on the City of Lake City website for a total of 4 weeks. And on the 21st of February, I re-inspected the property and there was no change February 21st, the certified green card was returned to me as delivered and signed for. That was the second violation and notice of hearing that was delivered. On March 5th, I posted a public notice signage on the property advising of the notice of hearing and the affidavit of the notice by posting, and photos were taken and placed into the case file. I have had no contact with Ms. Combs, the owner, at all. On the December 27th, there was another property which was located next to it. I did prepare a notice of violation to that owner, and they have already cleaned the property up.
Just to clarify, Ms. Combs signed for both of the green cards that you mentioned?
Yes, that's correct. They're both signed for.
The property, just from the photos, is there any structure on the property or is it just vacant?
It is vacant.
What is the relief that the city is seeking today?
Since they're not making any contact with me, I'm requesting a lien be placed on the property, $50 a day fine.
To be consistent with the other cases, I'm going to give her an opportunity to clean up the property, Mr. Silva. But then on the 31st day, like the others, I'll allow the $50 fine to begin to accrue. And I just want to be sure I'm sending the order to the same place where she signed for the green card. So it would be the 670 Northeast Washington Street, Lake City, Florida, 32055.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
All right, Mr. Silva, do we have anything else on the agenda today?
No, ma'am, that is it.
Well, we will stand adjourned and I'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.